We're going to talk about complex fractions, which is basically one fraction over another fraction. Now, the way that we can get rid of these is you can turn this division problem into multiplication. You're going to take the top fraction, the way it is, and you're going to multiply it by the reciprocal of the bottom fraction. So for a problem like this, it would be -2/5. We're multiplying it by the reciprocal of the bottom. That would be 7/6. And you can cross reduce if you want. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Then we're going to multiply across the top, across the bottom. So we got a -7. And the bottom, 5 times 3 is going to be 15. So your answer is -7/15. That would be fully reduced. If you have variables, you're going to do the same similar process. So you're going to take the top fraction, x over y squared, and you're going to multiply it by the reciprocal of the bottom fraction. That will be y over x squared. Now I'm going to multiply across the top, across the bottom, xy, and the bottom, let me switch the order around. I'm going to do x squared, y squared. When you have something like this, you're going to take the top power and subtract the bottom power with exponents. So you're going to do x to the 1 minus 2, and then y to the 1 minus 2. And you're going to get x to the -1 and y to the -1. But you want to write these as positive exponents. So what will happen is if you move them below this division bar, both of these are going to become positive. And so you're going to have 1 over xy. It's kind of the same thing as doing 1 over x times 1 over y, and then you'll get 1 over xy. So it's kind of the same idea there on that. I just put both of them down at the bottom at the same time. So you want to write these again as positive exponents. Okay, so next we've got the top fraction. We'll write out the way it is, 9x to the 4th, y to the 3rd over 13x. We're going to multiply it by the reciprocal of the bottom fraction. So we're going to have to do y squared and then 3xy to the 4th. Let's multiply across the top, across the bottom. So 9, we get here, x to the 4th. But then when we multiply the y's, we have to add the exponents. So 3 plus 2 is going to give you 5. On the bottom, 13 times 3 is 39. And then we have x and x is x squared. And we have y to the 4th. Now we want to reduce these if we can. What we notice here with the x's is we have 4 minus 2 and 5 minus 4. That's going to give you something positive, which means that on top, I'm going to have the x's will go on top there because we don't have negative powers here in this case. So top minus the bottom, 4 minus 2 is x squared. 5 minus 4 is y to the 1st power. And then if we reduce this, we can divide top and bottom by 3. And so divide this by 3, and we'll get 3. Divide this by 3, and we'll get 13. So there'll be a 3 on top, but there'll be a 13 on the bottom, and that would be your answer there. Okay, so again, the reason why I knew that the x's would go on top is because they have positive exponents. So if they become positive, then they automatically will go on the top. And if you get a negative exponent, you want to move them down to the bottom to make that positive. But we don't have to do that in this case because it's already positive exponents when we subtracted these. Let's do one more of these. Right, so this one, going to take the top fraction exactly the way it is. So 16c to the 5th, d to the 4th. In the bottom, we have 5c squared. Multiplying this by the reciprocal of the bottom. So we're going to do d cubed over 4c squared d to the fifth. We're going to multiply this across the top and across the bottom. If you multiply across the top, it's 16. C the fifth, we can't do anything with there. And then we add the exponents with the d here. So d to the seventh. And the bottom, 5 times 4 is 20. We're going to add the powers on the c. And then we have d to the fifth. All right, so we're going to reduce this. We can divide top and bottom by 4. So this will be a 4 here, and that'll be a 5 there. We're also going to subtract the exponents. Okay, so I know that there'll be a 5 on the bottom. So first I'll start with a 4 and then a 5 down below here. 5 minus 4 is c to the first power, and 7 minus 5 is 2. So that means I get d squared as the answer. Once again, we have nothing on the bottom because these are all positive exponents. And we'll do one more. Take the top fraction, x plus 10 over 3, and we're going to multiply it by the reciprocal of the bottom fraction. That would be x over x minus 2. Now, I don't see anything here that I can cross reduce, so I'm just going to multiply across the top and across the bottom. And we get this here, but nothing there actually reduces. I can't cross reduce. I'm not allowed to reduce this 10 and negative 2 because they're inside parentheses and we got a plus and minus signs that prevent us from doing that. So actually, that would be as far as you can go. That would be your final reduced answer.